If you've walked into literally any UK nail supply store or, scrolled through a nail tech's social media feed recently, you've definitely noticed one specific product absolutely dominating the conversation in 2026. It's rubber-based gel. The marketing claims are just everywhere, promising miracle adhesion and totally unbreakable nails. But if you're trying to figure out if you should actually add this to your home kit, or even if you're a salon client wondering if the upgrade is worth the extra cash, the sheer volume of hype out there makes it incredibly difficult to find the honest truth. Okay, let's dive into this, because today we are going to cut right through all that marketing noise and systematically uncover the actual material science behind this massive trend in this explainer.
Here's our masterclass agenda for today. We're covering 1. The rubber base boom, 2. What is rubber base, 3. Rubber versus regular base, 4. Who actually needs it, 5. Crucial application techniques, and 6. The standalone nail trend.
All right, starting off with Section 1, the rubber base boom, and that staggering 3x growth we're seeing in the UK market.
3. That's the multiplier by which shelf space for rubber base has expanded in UK nail supplier stores just between 2024 and 2026. Literally tripled. It is now among the most stocked product categories nationwide. Now, this originally gained traction in the UK pro nail market around 2022 after being widely adopted in Eastern European nail education circuits. But its current explosion means almost every single professional brand now offers at least one rubber-based formula. With growth that explosive, we really have an obligation to separate the genuine, tangible benefits from the clever marketing gimmicks.
Moving on to Section 2, what exactly is rubber base? Let's get into the science of flexibility. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that the real secret lies in the word elastomeric. When we talk about a rubber base, there isn't actual natural rubber tapped from a tree inside that bottle. Instead, it's formulated with elastomeric compounds. See, standard gel-based coats cure into a cross-linked structure that's actually quite rigid. But elastomeric polymers retain significant flexibility even after curing under the lamp. They can bend substantially without cracking or separating from the nail plate. Imagine a material that behaves way more like a resilient, dense elastic rather than a hard, brittle shell. That right there is the defining characteristic of a rubber-based gel.
Which brings us to Section 3, rubber versus regular base, the honest technical comparison.
So think of a standard regular base coat like a very thin, rigid pane of glass. It's designed to be super thin, spread easily, and self-level perfectly. Its main job is simply creating a bonding interface for your color. But because it's rigid, it naturally resists the bending of your nail. And over time, that resistance creates microstress right at the bond, which progressively weakens adhesion and causes early lifting. Rubber base, on the flip side, acts like a built-in shock absorber. It's thicker, it's far more flexible, and it actually fills in minor surface ridges. Most importantly, when your natural nail bends during everyday tasks like typing on a keyboard or gripping your steering wheel, the rubber base flexes right along with it. It absorbs that stress instead of fighting it tooth and nail.
And this technical difference becomes incredibly relevant when we look at daily life, especially here in the UK. Let's be real, the UK climate is cooler and it's damper. We've got more rainy days, we're constantly washing raincoats, and we are making endless cups of tea, right? All of this frequent water exposure, plus the constant shifting from cold outside air to holding hot mugs, creates something called thermal cycling in the nail. The elastomeric flexibility of a rubber base holds up beautifully through this constant thermal cycling, whereas a rigid standard base really struggles. It's kind of a subtle environmental factor, but it's exactly why this specific product performs so incredibly well in our specific market.
Let's look at Section 4. Who actually needs it? We need to match specific nail types to these benefits. Despite what viral social media videos might tell you, not everyone needs to just toss out their standard base coat. So, the crucial point is that the benefits of rubber base are not distributed equally at all. If you have thin or highly flexible nails, the benefit is dramatic. You absolutely need a base that moves with them to stop that microstress we just talked about. If you have damaged or ridged nails, this thicker formula smooths the surface beautifully. It's highly meaningful. But take a look at the bottom row. If you're lucky enough to have perfectly healthy, thick, natural nails with zero adhesion issues, well, congratulations. But the benefit for you is actually very minor. You might get an extra couple days of wear, sure, but a premium regular base is likely perfectly fine for you. It's transformational for challenged nails, but practically a gimmick for perfectly healthy ones.
Which naturally brings us to a very specific, frequently asked question: does rubber base fix oily nails? The short answer? Yes, but with a massive caveat. Because rubber base is thicker and denser, it definitely maintains more initial contact with the nail surface and provides a much better mechanical grip than a thin standard base that easily gets displaced by surface oils. However, it absolutely does not replace your prep sequence. You cannot skip your double dehydrator and your primer. Rubber base makes a properly prepared oily nail perform way better, but it's not going to magically compensate for a poorly prepped one.
All right, Section 5, Crucial Application Techniques, how to actually get it right. Because this formula is so much thicker, applying it exactly like your standard base is honestly a recipe for disaster. Let's move to and see how this builds. Step 1 remains your standard prep. Seriously, do not skip it. Step 2 is applying a thicker coat than you normally would. You want it to sit slightly raised to provide that structural benefit. But Step 3 is absolutely vital. Keep it off the skin. Because it's thick, it has a major tendency to pool at the sidewalls or the cuticle, so you must leave a slightly wider margin than you're used to. Finally, Step 4. Many professional UK technicians swear by the 2-layer method. Apply a thin layer, flash cure it for 5 to 8 seconds, then apply your second layer and do a full cure. This partial cure method produces a vastly better structural result and ensures you don't accidentally leave the inside of that thick gel undercured. Also, you have got to use a lamp that is at least 48 watts. If the gel feels hard on top but is soft inside, you lose every single benefit we just covered.
Just a really quick note on removal to reassure you, the process is basically identical to standard gel. You still soak it off with acetone using standard foil wraps. The only difference is that because the product is denser, you just need to be a little more patient. It's going to take about 20 to 25 minutes instead of the usual 15. Don't scrape it, don't force it, just give it those extra 5 minutes to do its thing.
Now, if you're looking to invest, these are the top brands dominating the UK market in 2026. The gel bottle ink has pretty much become the salon standard with a very forgiving, self-leveling formula. Gel Rehab London is fantastic if you're specifically trying to recover damaged nails. You also have brands like Sevelac and Moira offering incredible pro-grade value. And importantly, we're seeing a huge expansion in HEMA-free options for those with gel sensitivities. One word of caution though, system compatibility really matters. Professional systems are literally optimized to work together. If you mix a rubber base from one brand with a color polish from a totally different one, you might occasionally experience unexpected peeling or adhesion failures that look like an application mistake, but are actually just a chemistry clash behind the scenes.
Finally, we've reached Section 6, the standalone nail trend, otherwise known as the clean girl aesthetic.
The 2026 UK market has seen a massive shift toward wearing rubber base completely on its own, and this brilliantly illustrates exactly where nail aesthetics are right now. The trend aligns perfectly with the minimal, clean girl look that's basically taken over salons everywhere. Brands are releasing rubber bases in beautiful milky whites, sheer pinks, and gorgeous nude camouflage shades. You get all that incredible structural support, all that amazing flexibility, and a beautifully groomed, polished appearance without ever adding a single layer of color. It's faster to apply, removes in a single step, and gives that incredibly sleek, natural soap nail look. Plus, because you aren't adding multiple thick layers of color polish on top of an already thick base, the nail remains wonderfully flexible and incredibly lightweight.
So looking at the science, the unparalleled flexibility, and this beautiful minimalist trend, we have to ask the big question. Will rubber base replace your entire gel polish routine? Are we actually approaching a point where the multi-layer, highly pigmented gel manicures of the past give way entirely to sleek, structural, standalone bases that just bend with our every move? It's a fascinating shift in material science and beauty, and definitely something to ponder the next time you sit down to prep your nails. Thanks for exploring the truth about rubber-based gel with us today.